Good day, good hour, and good evening. My name is Felix, and welcome to my little corner of the backrooms. Today we are checking out part 2 of the Touchstarved Demo. In the last episode, our caravan was attacked on our way to the city of Viridian. We were saved by a doctor called Curus, who sent us in search of a man named Leander, the leader of the Aberstones. We briefly spoke to him in a bar, and now we are speaking to him a little bit more outside, inquiring into this mysterious cenobium. Leander leads me into an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick. Layers upon layers of frayed and faded Adderstone posters plaster the wall. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his printed likeness is impressive, if abstract. Curus didn't send you here to ask for a personal escort to the cenobium, did he? From his tone, he already knows the answer. No, he suggested that I reconsider. Yet here you are, asking about a guide anyway. He looks at me expectantly. I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my monstrous capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer. Are you aware of Iridia's particular currency? Information's worth its weight in gold here. I don't much care for outdated traditions, so I'll be completely honest. The cenobium won't help you. They're more likely to torture you than lend you a hand. But the cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. The cenobium had always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in a fading world. If any place held answers, it would be the cenobium. That's why I came here. Leander nods patiently. You're not the first person to fall for their propaganda. I grew up idolizing the cenobium. I wanted nothing more than to join their ranks to learn magic from the best, to make a real difference. I was young and blinded by the legends and the legacy. I was so damn naive. He shakes his head. All it took was one trip here to Lowtown to show me the truth. Unless you've got a heavy purse or highborn blood, the cenobium doesn't give a damn. They'll never open their gates for the ones who need them the most. Then it's all a lie. Things that seem too good to be true are often just that. Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. Leander watches me as though weighing something in his mind. That doesn't mean you're hopeless, far from it. I founded the Adderstone to help people like you. We settle disputes, slay feral soulless. Hell, we've even been known to patch a leaky roof or two. Whatever troubles you, we can help, free of charge. I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander doesn't look remotely surprised. Then you're looking for help with something serious, something not even Curus could crack. It must be truly a remarkable problem if you come all the way to Iridia searching for my help. Tell me, how can I help you? Leander may not work for the cenobium, but he is a mage, a powerful one, if his demonstration earlier is any indication. Indecision gnaws at me. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this might be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a strained whisper. I'm cursed. He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands. Is that why you banded your hands? My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I've even finished, Leander pulls his left glove off. He flexes his fingers and grins. Alright, let's see it. As he offers me his hand, a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I won't allow myself to hurt him, to see his kind face unrecognizably warped. I don't want to hurt you. I'll be fine. Trust me. I have seen enough curses and hexes to last me 2 lifetimes, but I'm still standing. Do you really think Curus would send you here if I couldn't handle it? How should I know? I've only met him today. I'm twice as good as any Cenobian mage. If anyone can help you, it's me. You don't know what you're asking me. I'm asking you to trust me. I look from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. Then, I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. If you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better. His attempt at levity does little to comfort me. With each joint I expose, I grow increasingly certain that this is a terrible idea. But if he's bothered by how my hands look, he doesn't show it. Alright? Deep breath. On my count. My fingers hover shakily over Leander's palm. 3, 2, 1. I really hope this doesn't come back to bite me. I tap his palm once, as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. Heart racing, my eyes dart to his face, but Leander only smiles gently. See, it can't be. When I reach for his palm again, Leander catches my wrist before I can pull back. I told you, there's really nothing to worry about. He trails off when my thumb grazes the soft skin of his inner wrist. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of his palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't anticipating. It's not as though I've never been touched before. My curse only extends to my hand, and desperation spurs creativity. But all that pales in comparison to this. I've never experienced such intimacy. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail, the grooves along his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the bones at his wrist. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine hammers as fear gives way to excitement. Oh my god. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his arm where smooth skin abruptly gives way to a raised scar. It matches the one that runs from his collar to cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? When I glance at Leander's face, his lips part as he considers his words. I'm the first person you've been able to touch like this. My hand goes still on his arm. So far. Then, is it everything you wanted? When I nod, Leander turns my hand in his to inspect the gleaming fissures crisscrossing my knuckles. There's no revulsion in his face, no fear. He looks up at me and grins. It's not every day I meet someone as... Jesus. It's not every day I meet someone as enticing as gold. He winks and lets me go. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels like it's soft with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked. I've really forgotten my manners. May I ask your name? I'm Felix. Felix, this curse of yours is unlike anything I've ever seen before. I can tell you're careful, but it's best you kept this between us. Oh, excuse me. Are you staying in Lowtown? I pause. Room and board was something I'd yet to consider. I don't know. Let's get you properly settled then. The Wick is noticeably quieter, without their leader. Most of Leander's followers have dispersed, or, in a few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left, or did my lot grab them all to sleep it off? The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. The usual room? Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained. No, not today. This is just for my friend, Felix. Right. I forgot what voice I did for the bartender earlier. Right, stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Have fun? Leander clears his throat but then holds the key out to me. I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing. My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed, anything you need. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small but heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Iridia, let alone free meals. Thank you. Iridia is twice as dangerous as it is wondrous. Be careful out there. And if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. I nod, taking one last look at the gleaming bronze key before tucking it into the pocket of my cloak for safekeeping. Leander gives me a friendly wave before returning to the bar. Dust glitters in the sparse ray of sunlight illuminating the room. The furniture is tired, the walls cracked, and a large lumpy bed serves as the centerpiece. I can't remember the last time I slept in a bed, and I never imagined I'd sleep in one tonight. When I collapse onto the bed, the springs let out a shrill squeak. Finally, I can allow myself to rest. My eyes fall shut before long. This demo is pretty long. I wake up to a pale sunlight filtering through the narrow windows. Despite the clamour of the tavern below, the precious hours of rest have restored my strength and gifted me a flicker of cautious optimism. If I play my cards right, today could be the day I get closer to finding a cure. I quickly head out of the wet wick. The air clings sodden and heavy with the lingering scent of rain. Without the afternoon crowd, the district looks barren and bleak. If in the middle of the street a pair of crows quibble over a stale bread crust, I pause watching them while I consider my next move. Curious and Leander both made it clear that the cenobium can't be trusted, but I came so far and endured too much to give up now. I need to see the cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. Surely someone in the bar can point me in the right direction. Excuse me. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back. The shadow trickles down the street in rivulets formless dark, spreads like ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch, a muzzle splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I feel it in my chest. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or breath will snap the jaws around me shut. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to look what got me in the eye first. I steel myself, then turn. The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came, and I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone save for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. Another pretty man! More pretty than handsome, more handsome than pretty. I just really like pretty as a descriptor. A monster, that much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be mistaken for human were it not the tufted ears, the tail curled around his ankle, or the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall. He has the same pupils as I do. When they fall on me, we lock gazes and the monster uncrosses his long legs. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it crawls around his collared throat. Jumpy, aren't you? His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable grin. Did you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter. The only beasts I've seen are the Wicks drooling regulars, though this did catch my eye. With a flick of his wrist, my in-room key dangles from his... I just noticed bro has a buckle on his thigh. Sorry. Distracted. With a flick of his wrist, my in-room key dangles from his fingers. It turns on its chain, glittering when it catches the light. My hands fly to my cloak's pockets, and sure enough, find them flat. He crooked his finger, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. I'm still on the edge, thrumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edge of my vision. I always seem to attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. My key. How'd you find it? What can I say? I'm a sucker for shiny things. He smiles wide enough to reveal sharp fangs. I saw you drop it. You really should be more careful. City like this, somebody might take advantage. A bold-faced lie, said without a hint of irony. I approach the monster, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. That waist? Snatched. What does that body is tea? The stranger's chain softly clinks with the tilt of his head. His ears flicker. Keeping your distance? I'd be stupid to trust you. You think I stole your dinky little key from all the way over here? He gives an exaggerated sigh. I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? He's got me there. The sheer fabric of his sleeve alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway. Luckily for you, I don't charge. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into the shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. I didn't mean to assume. I'm flattered, really. Did you think you could pay me to pet my ears? I just need my key back. Ask nicely, and I might even let you tug my tail. Just throw it here. So, some spindly little street urchin can snatch it and run? He raises my key and tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth. I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles. You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveller, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place? His voice practically drips with derision. I don't know what that word means, and now I feel stupid. I'm not telling you anything. What could possibly draw you to this dreary little pig pen? I wonder. He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger. The weather's shit, the food's dreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless... Dagger-sharp eyes flicker towards me. They gleam bright with amusement. Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. By now my embarrassment has worn away, leaving shimmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. How do you know that I spent all my money, starved, and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I met? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I have been told subtlety's not my strength, so your place or mine? If only I had my key, I might be able to invite you up. His languid gaze slides from me to the key in his hand and back. Take my hand and we'll go together. The more he flirts, the more convinced I become that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have tricks up their sleeves. And something tells me that this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me, but I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack me, or bite. I won't bite hard unless you beg me. No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff. Do you like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their lutist is utterly exquisite, truly a performance to die for. There's life in this dreadful place if you know where to look. You sound like you know the city well. The monster's gaze flickers from mine to the key hanging from his finger. Naturally, this stump was little more than a miserable little smear on a map when I first arrived. High town, low town, I know Iridia like the back of my hand. What about the Cenobium? Do you know where that is? His smile vanishes. Surely you've seen it, that absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss. You must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of Iridia. The Cenobium's overrated, forget about it. I can show you things that those stuffy boars in the Elliptic Tower couldn't even dream of. What do you say? How about the two of us have a little adventure? I've already got plans. Oh? Have you some pressing matters at the Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians? Tea time with the most esteemed abbess? That's my business. What's it matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. Your loss. The stranger, finally bored of his own tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key, but as soon as my fingers gaze smooth brass, his hand springs shut around my elbow. Hey! He yanks me down and I stagger, my shoes slipping on the steps. For a sick moment I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch, but he's careful not to disturb them even as he grips my arm. I knew I smelled blood. You reek of the road and death. And that fucking doctor. His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil. And something else. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes at me. Let go! Just when I fear he'll bite, his grip loosens and his eyes widen with awe. It seems I underestimated you. You're... Via! The stranger's ears flatten and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging my bandages. He twists around to see a woman duck out from the curtain behind him. Her pressed white uniform marks her as a cleric of the Cenobium. I leave you for all of what, 10 minutes? And you're out making trouble again? Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, Via I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile. So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine? A natural liar. He grins at me, and his tail swishes coyly. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Via cuts in. I was graciously offering my dear friend some free advice. Though his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens. Excuse me. Danger's drawn to you like a moth to flame. It'll always find you given time. The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word to the wise. Don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook could sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from Via. Oh please, any of yours know it's true. Now hold still. Via rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing his long line of his neck. And suddenly it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from his harness, but a heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlock at the back of his collar. The woman produces a crowded keyring from her pocket. She rifles through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on our merry little soulless hunt. They're hunting for solace inside the city. Words momentarily faze me. The cleric regards me with a polite, if tight smile before marching down the stairs. Via lingers. He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back. Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed, Via hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily, as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Lavention knot? That one. That the one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you, it's probably disgusting. Via's airy laughter echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait! Reflexively, I shove my hands into my pockets and find it. The room key. I raise it to the light. Sure enough, it's my key, but the realization is hardly comforting. I don't know what Via's game was, or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share if that's what his vague warning meant. I let my eyes drift skyward past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze to the Cenobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need. Then I can put this behind me. This time, the key goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. A very long demo. It's easy enough to follow the winding streets, climbing uphill towards the distant tower. Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead, I finally find what I'm searching for. The Cenobium of the Luminous Void. It stands at the highest point of Iridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, ignoring the massive tower in their midst. I'm the only one standing before the gates. I crane my neck up until the top of the Cenobium spire disappears into the clouds overhead. My stomach gives an uneasy lurch. Though far grander than the humble shrine of my youth, the Cenobium is eerily reminiscent of a gilded birdcage. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine as if testing its strength. Oi! You there! The shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Another tourist! Get out of here once you're done gawking! A dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns without even waiting for my response. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing, just the leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. It's suddenly very hot in my room. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. Hello. A whisper coats the back of my ear, hot and syrupy. I jerk away but find no one beside me. Instead, halfway down the staircase, I spot a girl peering up at me. She's barefoot, draped in several layers of worn, moth-eaten clothing. Peculiar metal jewelry hangs across her face and jingles with each slight movement. Her eyes are her most striking feature. They shine a scorching, unnatural crimson. Feels like staring into the sun, and yet I'm strangely captivated by her. She tilts her head, the tinkling of metal riding the wind. Do you need help? I'm unsure how to respond. The air is charged with a mysterious energy, as if each of my words is worth its weight in gold. On the off chance she can help me, I might as well be somewhat truthful. I do, but wanting it is another question. The giggles she makes is a chiming, fluttering sound. You're honest, I like that. She dips into a polite curtsy. My name is Iris. I was like you once. Hopeless and alone. Sorry, I'm tying my hair up because it's really hot in here. The ones in the tower won't help you with your pain. I might be able to, though. I try not to dwell on the fact that I'm recognizably desperate. Instead, I focus on her vague offer and I descend the steps. You don't know what I'm looking for. You need what everyone needs in this world. A miracle. Iris turns and my thoughts abruptly scatter. Pitted skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. The fuck? Whatever disease she had consumed her from the inside out. How was she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet... I only get a glimpse before she faces me once more, this time looking a bit bashful. I know it's not pretty, but that's not what matters. The sea spring can cure anything. It can cure you, too. Her shining eyes flicker to my bandaged hands, then up again, so quick I nearly miss it. I stand there, wordless. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. She extends a hand out to me, her delicate fingers outstretched. I can take you there if you'd like. You can decide on your own when you see it. Her hand is frailed, marred with tiny wounds. It's the epitome of vulnerability. The complete opposite of the cenobium's mocking, impenetrable gait. And if I say no, it's your choice. The truth is, I don't have much of a choice. Not right now, at least. I wonder if Iris knows that somehow. If there's any hope of finding a cure, I need to follow every lead, including seeing the sea spring for myself. I cautiously slide my hand into hers. Her skin is ice cold through my bandages. We descend from the higher streets, abandoning their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, derelict district hold more familiarity for me. However, Iris leads me farther still, until I'm met with an all too familiar sight. My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The sea spring is straight ahead. Iridia's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, but venturing beyond the city walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. I shake my head and pull away from Iris. I'm not leaving the city. She circles in front of me with a placating gesture. Don't be scared. I promise you it's all right. You're as safe inside the city as outside it, and this stretch before you is the safest of all. She casts a wistful gaze out over the wastelands as if admiring something beyond the vista. This region belongs to Ice. Some call him a gang leader, but he's much more than that. It's difficult to string my thoughts together. Only a fool would leave the city, but a primal instinct tells me that Iris isn't lying. She twirls around with another curtsy, jewelry twinkling playfully in the sunlight, her doe eyes soften with a smile. I thought I was going to sneeze. As I said, it's your choice. Thank you for coming this far. I hope we meet again, Felix. I blink and she's gone. Confusion grips me as I look around, searching for any trace of her. Did I tell her my name? I don't think I told her my name. But I'm completely alone with only the vast nothingness of the wastes for company. Did I just imagine everything? No. That whole encounter was real. Again, that primal instinct insists on it, just like it insisted on Iris's honesty. The sea spring is straight ahead. If it managed to cure Iris, I need to see what it can do for me. This seems like a pretty good spot to leave part 2. I hope you enjoyed watching. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.